There we go. What's happening, everybody? It's Johnny Snow in the building. We got Santi and Skilly, Tactical Skillionaire Defense up in here. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? All
Right.
right. All right. So, for those who do not know you guys, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
All right, my name is Tactical Ski in Their Defense. You can catch me on YouTube. You can catch me on Instagram, Rockstar Made, J Skills. That's it, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm Santee TV. You can find me on Santee TV Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central Standard.
All right. So yeah, we got a few things we talking about this evening, and last week I kind of touched on it, and also let me go ahead and say the name of the show. The name of the show is 100 Shots, where we take a subject and we take 100 shots at it, and we gonna decide, whether or not we hit or if we miss. And if we miss, that means we missed a whole 100 shots. But we finna go ahead and talk about a few things. And last week we kind of touched on it, but I tell you what, we gonna let a few more people jump on up in the chat before we really dig deep into it. So
Yeah. Get
um
in here. Y'all see we live? Get on
what's
here.
up,
Talk to us.
762 Willie O up in here?
Hey,
Yes, sir.
762.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, both of y'all have shows. I know Santi has a show that airs on Friday, and Skilly got a show that airs on Sunday. Go ahead and tell everybody what time your show comes on, and how make sure they don't miss next time y'all go live.
Go ahead, Santi. You first. Ladies first.
Friday night. Bring your lemonade.
Bring your
8 p.m.
lemonade.
Central Standard. Come hang out. We're gonna be talking about
Mhm.
everything. So come
All
hang
right.
out with us. Yeah.
Check me out. Bulletproof Sunday live talk, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Um,
Mhm.
and just come by, pull up a chair, pop some popcorn. We have a little discussion. That's about it, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So basically this week what we were going to talk about, we were I had a discussion with a dude that basically was telling me that the reason that a lot of people out here acting crazy, a lot of men are not out here acting like men, is because, and I'm gonna say it the way he said it, and I'm gonna say it the way that I believe it really is. He said that the reason that all these guys out here shooting people and acting crazy is because they are raised by women, and they are raised with nothing but emotion and not logic in the house, and that is the reason that men are acting like women. He did not use that word, but he said the reason that men are acting like women are because they have nothing else to build their character off of other than the women that are in their lives, and I have to say off top, this is a symptom, in my opinion, of the dad not being there. And why isn't the dad there? But that's why he said he believes that that is the reason that a lot of men are out here acting like women, is because men are not in the household, and men coming up do not have anything to build their character off of. So what are your thoughts on that? And I will ask Santi, the lady in the
Let me
picture. Mhm.
let me ask you this. What
Go
did
ahead.
he say the antidote was?
Oh, he
Before
didn't give an antidote.
oh, he didn't get no antidote.
He didn't give no antidote.
Okay,
He
so he
was just
said
like,
that
that's what it is.
he said that the men are out here in the streets killing up people. I mean, offing people because they're
Uh,
women, because they mamas and grannies and stuff.
well, basically, he said that a man nowadays, if they're raised in a single mother household, they don't have a man to build their character off of.
So is he blaming it on the mom or is he blaming it on the daddy?
He's pretty much saying that men are acting like bitches because that's what they're raised by.
Oh hell no!
Why?
Oh hell no!
That's I
So
mean,
that would mean
I'm
that the women
just
are out
saying.
here,
I'm not trying to say it like that, but
but
that's what he said.
if going by his logic, that would mean that the women would be out here doing the same things that the men are doing, right? So that would mean that the women are out here running around, offing everybody, but that's not the case, right? It's more
Well,
the
well,
majority are
let me
men.
say this. Let me say this. I believe that this is a symptom of a dad not being there, but at the same time, what's happening is men are in men's situations handling a man's situation emotionally instead of that. So, I mean, I don't know how to. I mean, I see what he's saying, and he is not looking at the root cause, but I see what he's saying.
Okay, he said it the wrong way then,
Of
because
course.
like for real, he said it the wrong way because
Uh-huh.
what he's saying is that it is missing. The male part is missing because
He didn't bring
if
the
you
male
go by
part
his
up at
logic,
all.
they shouldn't be killing up people then. If you go by his logic,
Well. You know what he's saying is that was basically. I think what he's saying is men is having female type cat fights
well,
with
that
guns.
could be true. Yeah, that could be true
With guns.
because how they handling the situation is all they own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So because the women, they're not getting that from the women. They just handling it. They're having situations because of probably maybe,
Too much soy milk.
yeah, something like that.
Well, he was real adamant about it, and I was trying to tell him that that's just a symptom of what's happening. It's a symptom of dad not being there, and we need to figure out why dad ain't staying. And but at the same time, if you really look at it, it's like if a woman is put in a man's situation, and well, if a man is put in a man's situation and he handles it with emotion instead of logic, is that what's going on? Is that why emotions are dangerous? And
What you
as
just
a
said,
woman
so
on the
so you
panel,
said why
how do you see that?
you said why are men not staying? What do you why you think men not staying?
Why do I think men are not staying?
Yeah.
I think okay.
If
I'm
they
gonna
if they doing what they mamas and them do, why you think men not staying?
well, I will say this. I think a lot of the times that if you are put in a situation where women are taking on man roles and women are um being more aggressive. That I've seen where women are more aggressive nowadays, and it's not hard to get smashed. And if women are more aggressive and the man is giving in to the more aggressive, and he's not wearing the rubber, and a child is produced out of something like that, then maybe I don't know. Let me stop before I dig into this.
Okay, because if a man, I don't think a man should have
I'm just
that
saying, I
argument.
don't know. I don't know because I've been with my wife for almost 20 years.
Ooh, we cheers to you. Cheers to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been with my wife for almost 20 years, so I ain't have and matter of fact, I I would it would take hell and high water to keep me away from my children. So I don't know why men are not staying. Well, why do you think men are not staying?
It's a lot of reasons why they not, but that can't be
Any
the
of them
excuse.
good?
They have to create the environment that they want. So
Mhm.
if it's not with the mom or their children, create it with someone else. And if you can't create it with someone else, create it by yourself and learn how to co-parent. But that don't
Mhm.
mean that you get a pass to leave your kids out here in the streets, you know, getting raised by these women who you say, who not you, I'm just saying people say that's a problem, and they always fighting and they don't know how to handle situations. That's not an
Yeah.
excuse. That can't be an excuse for these men.
Well, we actually got kind of deep into the conversation. He was like, bruh, when something happened to you and your boys, or if something happened to your boys, you right there to tell your wife, that's just what boys do. It ain't that big of a deal. Let that go. Let that go. And I'm like, yeah, I say let it go all the time. He was like, if you wasn't there, she probably screaming and yelling at him for stuff that guys just do.
Yeah.
It's I can argue with that, but it's like, so I'm trying to stay neutral, but he brought up points that you can't deny. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to, slide through and talk about it, but I don't know.
Let me ask you now. Do you know men who don't take care of their kids?
Absolutely.
And as you as a man who take care of your kids, what do you tell those men who you know don't take care of their kids?
Uh, I'm not gonna get into somebody's business like that, but I got somebody that I know, and I talk to him. I'm like, man, you definitely call your daughter, and the mother and the father's not together. So I try to encourage him, regardless of what's going on with the mother, reach out to your child. Y'all might have didn't end on good terms, but you always have to reach out to that child. And I'm a firm believer, and that child has nothing to do with what child two got going on. Put your ego aside, call the child, because at the end of the day, if you ain't raising your child, who the hell gonna raise them?
And then they can't complain about how the kids raised.
Yeah, you listen to Young Dolph.
There. So I try to any guy that I deal with, I say you gotta kind of, you gotta figure out who you laying down with first of all. Let's put it there. Figure out who you laying down with. Because a lot of y'all laying down with a bunch of women you don't even know their first name.
Well, the thing is, if you laying down with them, can you figure it out in one night? How do you figure that out in one night?
It's gonna be fun trying, huh, Johnny Snow?
I'm just saying. How do you figure that? My thing is keep the Trojans ready. Keep it on the ready.
I said,
this is a gun channel. We keep our gun on us. I know I keep my gun on me. There's other things you got to keep ready. So it is.
Do y'all think? Let me ask you this: since we going there, do y'all think that men, young boys from 16 to 25, should get a vasectomy until they're ready to have kids?
You can turn that around.
What?
They're reversible.
Vasectomy supposedly.
I didn't know they were.
Would you want your 16-year-old son? I don't know how old your kids is, but would you want your 16-year-old child to get a vasectomy from 16 to 25 until they're ready for kids?
You know what? I'm gonna say this, and my daddy always told me this, and it always lasts with me to this day. If you're gonna lay down and have children, make sure you're able to take care of them.
We got one that say they are not, and one that say yes they are.
Oh.
I don't want nothing short around mine.
But how many men would actually go get a vasectomy? It's not too many of them that'll go get a vasectomy. If men know, or their argument is these women having babies because they want child support and all this other stuff that go on with all these ridiculous arguments they be having. Why not go get a vasectomy until you're ready to have kids?
Wait a second. Why don't they create some male birth control where you can take a pill every day to make your soldiers not march?
Because y'all ain't gonna take it. Just like women don't be taking it. Just like women don't be taking it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you out there, you got a single man out there, and if you took a pill every day so your soldiers wouldn't march, but you good, would you take that pill?
Interesting question.
Yeah, I mean, would you take that pill? Be like, hey, it wasn't me. I'm peeled up, shawty. Leave me alone. Would you take that pill? I don't know. I don't know. It's
Probably not. Probably not.
well, my thing is, and really, really back to the root cause, or what we were talking about. If a man is raised by women, does he take on female characteristics? Is basically what the guy was saying. He was not being eloquent with what because it was me, him, some of my people was there. We were just talking about this, and he was saying that if a man is raised by a woman, he has not taken in what a man should do and how a man should react. He has not learned how a man deals with certain situations because he was always yelled at or screamed at or fussed at for being a man. So if you are always yelled at, screamed at, fussed at for being a man, you tend to take on, or you tend to shudder the things that a man do, and you react the way that the person that raised you react. And like I said, I am ad-libbing this because he did not bite his tongue. He was saying, man, like a bee because he was raised by a bee. And you know what I'm saying? And that's how he was saying it. But my thing is that I told him that's just a symptom of dad not being there.
Was
So
his daddy there?
yeah, he said his
Really?
pops was there.
Did
I
his
did
daddy
ask
like
that
his
question.
mama?
Huh?
Did his daddy like his mama?
Yeah, from what I seen, he was straight.
Hmm.
He had both of them there, and he was like, "Hell, take me for instance. My dad was there, so I act like a man because my dad showed me how to be a man."
Hmm.
So
And I'll
I
say
ain't gonna talk about
a
your friend because your friend is not present.
woman can't raise no man. A woman can teach you how to nurture. A woman can teach you how to care. That's characteristics of a woman. A woman don't you can't. I'm sorry. A woman can't raise a man on how to be a man. That just and
I
you just
agree.
like my daughter. I can't raise my daughter how to be a woman. I'm not a woman. The
Hmm.
only person that can do that is her mother. So
yeah,
I mean, it's
I
just
agree.
that when you have
I'm
a
I
with
raised a
y'all.
tomboy that liked to run around shooting AKs.
well,
I'm with y'all. I agree.
I'm dead serious. You can go on my channel, you see my daughter shoot my AK. So, but
Mm.
hey, that's so let's see. 762.
same way with my daughter. I never remember when she first wore a dress, and I put on her Jordans. My wife was like, "What is you doing? What you talking about?" So,
We got 762 Willie O. He said you have a lot of guys who grow up with both parents and still decide to be part of certain street codes, and a lot of things add up together that equals to a battle of eugenics. I will say this. I my dad this is something that people do not know about me. My mother passed when I was very young, and I grew up in a single dad household, and it was one of those where everybody in my group called my dad
yeah, yeah.
because it was like I was the only one that had the dad. And so I was the only son. I have two older sisters and two younger sisters, but that didn't affect me because it was me and dad. Me and dad go fishing. Me and dad went shot guns. My dad went into the army. I went into the army. I call my dad all the time. My dad is my best friend. So, it's one of those things where, I got an overload of dad, but it was a good thing. And now if somebody gets an overload of the female side of it, does that change how they deal with real life situations being out there? And how do you deal with that, not having the male figure tell you, like, okay, that's just what guys do? That's just what guys do. And So that's the hard question right there.
It is a hard question, and pe- people, we human beings, we need both. We need both. And if you see
Mm.
that somebody is lacking somewhere, then maybe that's where you take care of your community and say, look, that child right there look like they need a mom or look like they need a dad or whatever. That's part of hopefully people taking care of their community because it's not gonna always be mama and daddy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know the answer. I just know that it's just that's just life. With some people, some guys act more like women than women, and some women act more like men than
Yeah.
men.
What's up, bro? Block.
What roadblock got to say? Hey,
Yeah,
Calvin,
I'm about to
what's
go
up?
ahead and put the link in there so he can give his 2 cents.
Okay, because ain't
Yeah.
no telling what roadblock about to come through here and say,
Don't hit him with the ruler this week.
okay, I'm gonna have to take my I'm gonna have to take my straw. I'm eliminating. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I know that
Yeah.
what I don't like about the top that situation is where when the men always just blame the women. When
Yeah.
you know that there's a lot of single mothers out here that's doing it by themselves, and it's freaking hard. Because when I was a single parent, I didn't like that shit. I mean, I didn't. Excuse me.
You
I didn't
good.
like that stuff. I didn't like it at all because
Yeah.
it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really blame everything on the woman, especially when she is doing every single. I was fortunate that even though I was a single parent, you know, I had a little bit of help, just a little bit. It wasn't a lot, but I know plenty of women who had zero help, like none, not from the other parents, cousins, family, nothing, and it is very, very hard. So, I don't want to sit up here and be blaming folks, but if you want to blame somebody, you gotta. The two people had a baby. Two people.
Oh,
I don't care what the hell was going on. It was two people. Can't no a woman can't have a baby by herself unless she go get it put in her. A man can't go have a baby by himself unless he go get it put in somebody, artificially. But if you having a baby naturally, two of y'all did something to get this baby. So it's both of y'all responsibility. So men can't just be saying it's just the women, and the women just can't be saying it's just the men. We got to figure out how do we get to a solution of helping these kids out who need it because they lack. They be
Mm.
lacking. Oh,
Well,
he working.
well, I think that, really to be told, if you look at it, it goes deeper than just, really just saying a woman has tried to raise a man and failed. It is a man has failed a child from the get-go if he has not tried to be there.
be there. Absolutely.
And if
Yep.
the man has not tried to be there, then you can't blame the woman. She doing the best she can.
Hmm.
Because obviously, she might have to work, late hours, and they say the streets raised me, but it's because your mama was trying her best to feed you, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
and you can't blame that. And if she is emotional when she come home, it's because your ass didn't clean up. You were supposed to wash some damn dishes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to realize, it's you can't just blame the woman on that. And I was trying to tell Shawty that, but he wasn't hearing it. He was like, these men out here acting like, uh, you know, these men out here acting like this because that's all they know. That's all they see all day long. That's all they see. So yeah, and I was like, that's a symptom. That is a symptom. But you don't want to. Well, I guess he finally figured out that, yeah, you probably right. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is.
And that's exactly
But
why I got a whole bunch of followers and things like that out there. Because sometimes when you talking to a man, I know for me, if I'm like just talking to like people on the street or whatever, and it's always somebody is always missing something. You can't really like sometimes put a well, I guess you can. So I take that back. Never mind. But when you talking to people, you see that somewhere along the line when they thinking it's kind of off or they uh
Uh,
don't run with a certain type of group or whatever, You see that they lacking something, but you can't. I mean, I don't know. You can't give people everybody everything. You can try to, but it's gonna always be
CNT
something.
broke
You
it
give a
down.
person, if you give a person a whole bunch, like I'm just giving an example. You give a person a whole bunch of vegetables, right? And you don't
Mhm.
give them no meat, they're gonna be like, they're gonna be wanting their meat. It's whatever it is, just something real small. If you give a person meat and you don't give them nothing to drink, they're gonna be really wanting something to drink. So it's gonna always be something that people are missing. And it seems sometimes it seems like that's what they hone in on, and they just go and run with that. Because I didn't have this, that's the reason why I'm doing that. No, you gotta figure out what you need to do and adjust because you don't have that. You
Well,
have this.
I think giving meat is the root of the problem.
What?
Nah, never mind.
Johnny, Johnny, listen. Don't make me refill my cup and have food up on your live now. Don't make me. You
But
know,
All right,
what
meat with
Christine?
no
What Christine?
vegetables is the root of the problem.
and I like the way what Santee said. Maybe if you do see that kid in the neighborhood that's lacking that mother, that father, he has
Uh,
the ability to kind of talk to him. Because I'll tell you a lot of things about children, and especially with my kids and the kids that come around my household. A lot of them, with her going to plants cheering this year for the Spartans, a lot of the little girls call me uncle. Now I done met her maybe once or twice.
yeah,
Um, but I guess it's an impression that I'm there for my daughter that they see and they
they
see.
start latching on to you.
Yeah, and then I'm a present in my daughter's life, so they
Mm.
naturally latch on to me. But you have to be somewhat stable to show children that that you'll be there, because children look at everything, and I've noticed that even with mine. We think they don't listen. We think they're not paying attention.
Right.
Oh,
But
they definitely paying
so
attention.
everything that you do around them,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's something we have to understand. And I tell you this: when I was growing up, my dad kind of gave my mom a bad rep, and I hated women for a long time. And
Mhm.
Talk about it, skill you now. Where you drinking? Talk about it, skill you now. Get the folks. Tell the
so,
folks.
and I always told myself, if I had children, me and my, now it's my wife, and she's still my wife. But if we ever got, you know, out of touch with each other, that I would never go back and talk bad about their mother to them. That's something I always vowed that I would never do when it came to my children. So, and it's sometimes, I don't think my dad meant to do it, but it's just, they just, like to this day, I go to my dad to talk about my mom to talk about my dad bad. So they still do it to this.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
Shoot. When my sons was growing up, right, they daddy is Jamaican. And we already know how Caribbeans are already, just out of control. But really, Jamaicans are out of control. But I would never like that's a perfect example. Like I would never tell my children nothing bad about their daddy, even though their daddy just got on my nerves, right? Um, but he would tell me stuff while the kid's growing up. He's telling me, hey, look, you need to let him, bump his head and not try to sit up here and scoop him up and take care of whatever it is going on
Cut
with
the
him.
cord. You got to
Yeah,
cut the cord.
but me as his mama, I couldn't do that. Me as mama, I can't do it, and I
Yeah,
couldn't do it. But
yeah.
later on, I started seeing, you know what? He was right on that, but he got both. He got it both. When they
Wait,
went
wait, wait,
in,
wait. I got to stop you.
mhm,
Did you go back and tell that man he was right?
yeah, even though I hated it,
Oh, okay.
I mean, but he had to tell me
Okay.
I'm right
Okay.
too. He
Well,
know I'm
kudos
good.
to you.
He know
Kudos
I'm
to
good.
you.
Like he had to tell me I was right on some stuff too. That's why it takes
Yeah.
two, and you don't have to be with the other parent in order to, take
Mhm.
care of the child. Even though, what I'm saying, you gotta you gotta have both. You gotta have both. If you can't have both, or whatever. But some stuff that he would be right about, he was right about it. Stuff that I was right about, I was right about it. And it was I don't know how to explain it. I don't
yeah,
know how to explain. You need both because
Well,
I
well,
can't. I
well.
can't.
You as a woman, let me ask you from a man to a woman question. Why is it so hard for women to cut the cord with their kids?
that's just
Mama.
parent. caring,
I'm just saying.
protecting.
It's the core. They
Let Shawty, scrape his ankle. Let him, what I'm saying?
My,
Let him
point
fall
is,
a couple
be
of
willing
times.
to scoop them up in a minute.
my
I'm
wife
just saying, yeah. Why is it so hard as mama to let him fall a little bit?
It be hurting our heart. It be hurting us. We
I mean, you
emotional.
don't think it hurt me as a dad to see my son not get first place?
See, y'all a little bit harder than us. It hurt our feelings. If your child is hurting, it hurt your feelings. I mean, I'm pretty sure it hurt y'all feelings too, but y'all don't say nothing. But for us, let something happen to one of the kids, God forbid, it's hurting your feelings. They don't want to play with you. Why they don't want to play with you? Oh, okay, but for me, I mean, that really don't matter to me. But I'm like, well, what's going on? Well, you leave them, leave them alone, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you don't want your kids.
I'm like, man, fuck them kids.
Well, I do tell them that, but I'm just saying, you still be like,
I'm just saying, I don't like to say it that way, but it's like, shoot, I tell my boys all the time, because my wife, my wife had 2 children when I got with her. All right, so we had 2 more, and it's like all of those are my kids, and I'm one of those that I talk to my kids. I'll be like, look, I talk to them probably like they're beyond their years, but hopefully they'll catch up with what I'm telling them and they'll get it. But I tell them, like, look, the world ain't fair. It ain't finna work out this way. It ain't finna work out that way. Usually it doesn't work the way you want it to work, but when it does, that's a plus. But you always got to be ready for the backup plan, and I tell them stuff like that. And with my 2 boys that I did have with my wife, one of them act more like me, and then the other one act more like my wife. All right, and the one that act like me, he is more like, he's actually been on my channel. He know how to take an AK apart, put it back together, do all that, shoot and all that. Then my other one, he plays the trumpet and he's awesome in symphony band. And I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. I'm cool with that. And don't pay attention to that. But it's like, the way I see it is that you have to just let them fall and just show them how to get up, because falling is going to happen. Don't go pick them up. You show them how to get themselves up. And I think that's a big difference, between, trying to what I'm trying to say, between cutting the cord and letting them live.
Teaching them more about life. That teaches them more about life when they, they have those setbacks or whatever. But still, as a parent, it would be better for a mom to let the kid know that you're there for them, you support them, regardless of whatever, but not try to fix their problems. And a lot of times, women do that with the men that they with too. They be want to help them out and fix their problems and stuff. And we got to realize that, what I'm saying, you got to let the men be men, follow their face and everything else, and just let it be that, and you just be there for them. But it really is hard as a mom who just only 3 years ago started letting these kids fall on their face. But yeah, it's hard.
It is. I could see that, and it was hard the first time. First time I saw my son, deal with loss, in an academic sense, or not making the football team. He was hurt. I was like, well, shoot, what you gonna do about it? I don't know. I was like, well, you didn't even work out. You just went and tried to join the football team. I mean,
my God, Johnny, I did the same thing with my son. I said, this is gonna be your first. You're gonna do mostly sitting. Now, it worked, so I went in a bunch of his games. So the last went to, my wife got emotional, and they walked out. They walked out the game.
Yeah.
Called me upset. I'm like, what is you doing, lady? I said, I went home. I said, son, do you want to play football? No, Dad, I don't want to play no more. I said, well, okay, since you don't want to play, it's everything not to put his ass back on that field. I said, since I don't go to your games like I should be, since I have to work so much, I'm gonna go and she don't want to sit there. You not getting playtime. I'm gonna go and just let you go ahead and just forget it. But he's in band. He's doing the bass on in the band. So I don't know, and it's we are wired different, but that's the unique between a female and a male. You need both aspects when it comes to your children.
So I think there is a such thing of having too much of one and not enough of the other. If you get all of one, and I think that does that apply to women as well? Like, if a woman has a daughter, no boys, and she raised her daughters like sisters, they tend to turn out straight. You know what I mean? I've seen that. I don't know. I'm not the end all be all, but if a woman is trying to, or I've seen where a woman is raised by a man and the outcome is different. So is it only when a woman raises a man that it does not work right? Or I don't want to say that it doesn't work right, because there are women that raise men all the time where the man is super successful because they had a strong mama. So it's hard to really say what it is, that causes what happens.
So you trying to say that what you really trying to say, Johnny Snow?
762 Willie was trying to say he loves how you smirk during these conversations.
Because Johnny Snow be talking. I'm trying. He over there talking in code. I need Johnny Snow to come out and say what he really trying to say. What you saying is that men that's raised by women, they tend to be feminine and they tend to want other men. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I want to make that clear. I came up, my like I said, my mom passed early in life, so I had a single father, and a lot of my friends had single mothers. And no, it was more of, I don't know if it's the time, if things changed as like the 90s to the 2000s to the now. So no, I'm not saying that men that were raised by women are feminine, by no means. But what I was saying is that I had a conversation with a dude that said that guys out here acting like women is because they raised by women, and that's what he said. So that's why we were having a conversation on that, but I don't believe that men are feminine because they're raised by women, because there are a lot of strong men out here that came from single mother households, so so I don't agree with what he said. So don't take it that's my thought.
Well, it's some truth in what he said. But sometimes people can't see both sides to the story, or three sides to the story. They only see one side to the story, and that sounds like your friend. But I don't know, because some of that is true. Some of that is true. Because some of that is true.
So what you're saying is that uncles and friends of the family need to jump on in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
It's your job. If you see, that's like my brother. My brother had a child. My brother not stepping up. I'm gonna get in his ass, but at the same time, I got to make sure my niece or my nephew is good. Step up. I got to make sure they good.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real, because I don't want to be a hypocrite right here. I have nieces and nephews that I really do need to check in on, but I work so much that I have not been able to. But I do feel that maybe I am lacking, so I need to do better. I'll be the first to say that I need to do better.
I mean, you don't have to kill yourself, but yeah.
I need.
You just put it on the screen. When POS dads or dads that are not there will always, not always now. Is that always?
Okay.
My daddy was there. He wasn't in our household, but my daddy, he was there. Okay. But in the beginning, it wasn't because of my dad or anything else. It was because I was shallow when I was growing up. Like you had to look a certain way, you had to dress a certain way, you had to be fine, and you had to have that V down there. I wouldn't talk to you. You know what I'm saying? But that's the reason why I was picking shitty men because that's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for on the inside of them. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't know. My daddy never told me nothing about dating and stuff like that because he just showed me how he would do. He treated me really good, like a little princess, you know. And now that I sit up here and as I'm older, I know that that's what I want. But when I was growing up, you had you
But
had to be fine.
let me
You had to have
respond
money.
to Roadblock right quick. Yeah, I will say this, Roadblock. We know what we need to do. We just need to do. All right.
Yes.
Yes, we just need to do it.
But
Yeah.
how many men are gonna actually do that?
Well,
Because
well,
it's
I
a
will
whole
say
bunch of
this.
y'all can go out there to Chicago, the O Block, and go try to do it. Go try to do that out there at O Block. Because
We ain't got,
they got a whole bunch of
wait. We ain't gotta take this shit to old block.
Take no O
We
Block.
got people in our family who got a cousin that kids don't have their dad in the household. We ain't gotta go to old block and do that shit.
Start
We
with
we got we can do that in our own family.
See, I
So,
don't know because I don't know. In my family, they take care of their kids. The men take care of their kids.
all right.
Um,
Well, you got a
unless
good
they got some
family
kind of
because
problem.
I'm gonna say this: my family ain't bad, but we got people who the dad or it didn't work out.
Now I can
And
honestly say that in my family, the men take care of their kids. Yeah, they
mhm,
take care of their kids. The ones that's alive anyway. But
yeah,
what they should do is take care of the kids' daddies that passed away. They should take care of them too, but they don't. They don't do that. They take care of their own kids.
mhm.
Um,
Take them
but yeah,
fishing. Take the boys fishing. Make
Mhm.
them where they ain't scared to touch a cricket, scared to touch a
right.
worm. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Do something. Do something to do guy stuff. Because you know, um, as a woman, do you know how to do guy stuff other than shoot guns, Santi?
I know how to fish.
It's good
I know
enough.
how to fish. I
Uh,
know how to go hunt, but I ain't gonna say I know how to go hunt like being out there by myself. But yeah, I know I do that.
so
But
I
where
mean,
my kids go, hell no. My kids ain't going to that. They ain't going to that crap. My
I would say my sons did not like fishing until they caught a fish.
yeah. Hold up, y'all.
Yeah, you good. But yeah,
I'm
most
fine. Can y'all see that? Oh no, y'all can't see that. Y'all don't want to see it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me.
let's see. Roadblock say daddy issues are definitely a real thing, and mama's raising men like they boyfriend, and girls like they don't need men is also an issue.
Yes, the roadblock.
Mhm.
Roadblock.
Yeah, he still came in and said something to you, Santi. So what do you feel about what he said?
I agree. I
You
agree
agree?
with that.
You agree? All right.
Yep.
So, so is it proper to teach a woman that she don't need a man? Well,
No.
let me ask Skilly that. What do you think? Do you think women should teach they daughters that they don't need a man?
I will always teach my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You, it's always good to have a help me. That's
Help
what
me.
a woman and a man is for, to help each other.
Uh-huh.
Not bad with having to help me, but if that help me is not doing you any good, then leave him alone. If he not elevating you, if he not, and that's the same thing with my wife. A lot of people don't know. Me and my wife started really developing and really develop our relationship. I first told her go to school. That's elevating my wife, and I ain't telling her not to. I want her to elevate.
Mm-hmm.
She got done with school. She had both of my children. I told her stay home, and I'll pay the bills. As soon as my kid was able to go to school, I pick up a job. I said, if you want to go work, that's fine with me. That's all up to you. And she's been working ever since. So my thing is, and I teach my children. You know, I never tell your mama not to do. I always
Mm-hmm.
encourage your mama to do better. And she's always did what she wanted to do. She's always been a headstrong woman. But you gotta, and I tell a lot of guys, y'all want a woman to follow y'all, but y'all don't want to deal with the responsibility coming on with a woman following you.
Yeah.
You have to be able.
Silly. I knew I liked you from the day I saw you. Silly. Go ahead.
You got to show her that you can lead, and that's what you know. That's the same thing with my wife. When she wanted a house, when the time was right, go pick out your house. I ain't even care what it was. Just go pick out your house. We living in a house now. She wanted the car. Our car broke down. Go pick you out the car that you want, not what I want, but what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We end up turning that car in. She didn't really like it, but we needed that car at the time. She got a car that she wants. She's driving a 2020 Traverse. She loves the car.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a woman to follow you, make sure you're able to handle your business, fellas.
Make sure you're able to lead.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I
And
will
not
say
only
this.
that, if you make the wrong decision, you better stand on
Yeah,
it.
you got.
From a person like me, you made your decision. That was your decision. Don't be wishy washy now.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I made mistakes. Please believe it. As a man
Mhm.
that's ahead of my house, so I have made mistakes, and I don't shut
Mm-hmm.
my wife out. If I come and talk to her, she got an opinion. We'll come together. I see what she's talking about, and if I agree, I agree. If I don't, then I'm gonna make the decision, and if that decision is wrong, then I have to stand on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to stand on. Well, I want to say that, if I'll actually want to talk about the woman side of it. If you well, hold on. I'm actually trying to respond to hold on. Here it is. This right here. Little girls need a mom, and if they don't get that strong dad, they will not know how to interact with men. So I saw CNT say that, and I think that if a good example of what a good man is not shown all her life, then maybe she won't even know what a good man is. You know what I mean? And I agree with that. So
Well,
it's go ahead. Go ahead.
little girls need a mom, and if they don't get that strong dad, they will not know how to interact with men. Little girls need a sane mom and a
There's
sane
a
dad.
caveat to that, huh?
Because if there are some moms out there, they'll have their mom, and the mom will put bad stuff in their heads about their daddies, and those kids be out of control, hating their daddies and stuff like
She
that.
can't have a I bust the windows out your car, mama.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because they're gonna have problems. And the same with daddies. The daddies who sit up here and be telling them kids all kinds of crazy stuff about their mamas. Yeah, we got to come together on this parenting stuff. People need to learn how to co-parent,
Yeah.
plain and simple. And that's what they should do in when they go to child support court and stuff like that. They should make that it should be mandatory for them to. I think it should be mandatory for them to take a parenting class together, and because that's the problem. These kids running out here feeling like people don't love them, and they can just do whatever. It's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be something. So
Hmm.
we need both. Just like Coop also said before earlier, it has to be a balance, and
Yeah.
we don't have a balance.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, he said that you're supposed to keep your arguments behind closed doors. Yeah.
Coop, what you mean?
CNT Design said women and men need to back each other and keep their arguments behind closed doors.
I agree, because you know what, and me and my wife, we don't. I try my best not to have an argument in front of my children with my wife. I
Mm-hmm.
this is something that I try to do because of
Yeah.
how my children are. So, and that, I think that's what he's really trying to say is, if you're going to have an argument, kind of take it, close the door, and have
That should be spilling out though. Doors ain't soundproof.
No, it's not, but it's what he's saying. But I mean, I don't know. That's
But we all know that Santi don't have loud arguments, so she doesn't have that problem.
I fail at keeping it behind closed doors all the time, Coop. I'm sorry. Look,
that's what he's
look, y'all be thinking I'm playing. Sometimes I be fussing and fight. Every day I fuss and fight with this man. Every day. And I need to stop that. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know how my kids, I don't know what they gonna do. Well, my oldest son, he got a good relationship. He treat his girlfriend right. I love the little girl, or woman. He treat her right, so he doing good. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen because they see it all. They hit me. They be hitting. Wow, they don't too much of me cussing like that no more, right? But yeah, I fuss. Cool. I be fussing.
Well,
closed doors is the same as in front of somebody because you know I'm loud. Okay.
You ain't loud. What you talking
about? Every day.
Well, I would say this.
I don't know, because then you want to put the fight behind closed doors. What you doing to her back there? You ain't got her in a headlock, do you? as long as you can put it behind closed doors, as long as y'all ain't got each other in headlocks, okay? Right. Then I'm cool with that.
Well, I'm gonna say this. You know, it like I said, me and my wife been together for over 20 years, and we have our disagreements. And sometimes the disagreements can be very vocal. But at the same time, do your children see more of the love than the dissent? Which one is more prevalent in your household? Because it's not always a door that you can close when somebody acting goddamn crazy. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, sometimes it might be me acting crazy.
Yeah.
Because well, I'm not gonna put all my business out there, but sometimes, I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I disagree. Yeah. And CNT says some days I want a headlock.
Don't put it in a headlock, Coop. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, it's one of them things where it's all of what you got to see beyond the now and look 3 or 4 steps ahead. Because some people don't look 3 and 4 steps ahead. And that's why a lot of people end up in jail. That's why a lot of people end up dead. That's why a lot of people end up, out on the street not knowing how they got there because they didn't look 3 or 4 steps ahead. And my entire everything is at least 5 or 6 steps ahead. So you gotta look like that. You gotta have that vision, and if you don't, then you are the blame for where you at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Women and men have to be, mothers and fathers have to be willing to communicate. Because if you can't effectively communicate with each other, everything else is
it fall apart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. CNT said, I am not easy to be with. He was like, I am who I am, but my kids will never hear me trashing their mom.
Got you. You can't do that.
Now, I never trash my wife. I'll probably be like, I didn't do nothing. Why is she mad at me? But that is, I didn't do nothing. That is the furthest it would go. It would not be no trashing.
But you know how many men and women do that to their children, not understanding the damage that they do?
Well, a lot of the times it's because the dynamic in the household has changed. And people act like their kids are their friends, which you got to have your kids, friends with your kids, but there are certain things you don't talk to them about.
You definitely
You
don't.
don't bring them into that. You let that be between you and your significant other. But people don't realize that.
Yeah.
People really don't realize that. Ugh.
And you
But
have to watch. I mean, nowadays with kids and all the stuff that they run to and do, you really have to be careful because you can end up, even if they in the same household, even if you have mama and daddy there and they, you know, they having problems, them kids will be ready to off one of their parents in a minute just because they having an argument. They thinking that, you know, they can be the mom and daddy can be having an argument and they just having a regular argument and the kids see it and think it's something else and then, you know, going off one of their parents. Um,
mhm.
that happened here in Houston. They wasn't together, but they lived close by each other. The lady used to tell the little boy, all you know, his daddy don't love him, and his daddy gonna run off and go marry this other lady, and all this crazy stuff. And that little boy ended up offing his daddy.
Mm.
Wow.
Well, he got mad at his daddy because his daddy took his car away, but he ended up offing the daddy and the mama after the daddy is gone, the mama was felt that it was partly her fault because of the stuff that she told the little boy about the daddy. The daddy don't love you. The daddy go move away and this that, and the other, and that little boy got that upset. So yeah,
Oh
it's crazy.
wow.
You gotta man talk to the kids.
You
Yeah.
definitely got to talk to them. You definitely got to talk to them. I
Mm-hmm.
talk to mine all the time. Like I talk to mine about why I'm not there because I'm working.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't think I don't love you. I'm making sure you got this house over your head, making sure you got Jordans on your feet, even though you don't need Jordans, but that's what you want. I go ahead and get them for you. You got good grades, you know,
Right.
and it's like you gotta let them know. Don't let them try to figure it out for themselves, or don't let somebody else be the one that let them, form their opinion about you, because I work, and I'm all over the country all of the time. I'm all around the country. And,
Mm-hmm.
so my kids got to deal with me out there providing. And I don't want providing to end up being dad not there.
Mm-hmm.
But we live in an age of technology to where I can still be seen, through FaceTime, through whatever. So, you got to form that balance, but it's hard sometimes.
Okay, Johnny Snow, with that being said, at the end of the day, when your children get older, and we can say this, right? Because
Mhm.
I feel the same. Like I do feel like I work too much too, because I know sometimes I do. But it's because it's a bigger picture there. But our kids not gonna always understand that. Do you think whose fault is that if they don't understand that you have to work in order for them to have these different things, right?
Well,
Sometimes, it takes them a while before they be like, okay, now I see mom and dad and whatever had to go out there and work and they couldn't
had to
be
go
here for
out there
them.
and get it.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, I accredit a lot of what the way my situation is to having a strong spouse. My wife, I have a very strong wife. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and she is very set in her ways, and we do have God in our family. We go to church. I'm active in the church. I'm security at my church, and my kids
What you
participate.
take with you, Johnny Snow? What's your church good?
Right now, it's my Beretta.
Good,
So,
okay?
yeah.
You have to have it at the church house now.
Well, I'll say this. You know, if anything were to go down in my church, they'll be happy that I had it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, but my thing is that you can't let the world be your God. You have
It's so
to you
because it's
have to
messed up.
get them grounded, get them to
Mm-hmm.
where there's something bigger than you two.
Than you.
There's something bigger than Instagram. There's something bigger than all this crap that's being pumped into them. And they got to realize that all this is nothing. And I tell them all the time, the way that how many followers you have is nothing. How many people that pay attention to what you like, pay attention to us, that's nothing. You have what's important to you right here. And don't fall into that trap. Because the trap is there. It's definitely there.
My son made me realize that I was making a mistake, and it takes your children to kind of wake you up a little bit. I want to say not the year before, son decided that he wanted to run away from home.
Okay.
Went to go pick him up. Me and my daughter sitting at the bus stop. He gets off the bus like he normally do. He takes off. My son just started running. I ain't recognize who he was. I'm like, okay, bus and pad, let him off. The bus, my daughter like, ain't that Jamal? I'm like, no, that ain't Jamal. Jamal ain't ran and did nothing. No, that ain't Jamal. So turns up the block and turns back and goes the opposite way we go. I said, that might be Jamal. I said, come on, baby. So I get down there. I'm like, Jamal. He said, what you want? I lost it. I'm sorry, I lost it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Don't buck up at me. Yeah.
I lost it. I got him home. I did not talk to him on the way home. I couldn't. I was just that upset. My chest was hurting. My heart.
You about to pass out.
So I get him home. I said, son, what's going on with you? When I left, he talked to my wife. He said, Dad, I'm not spending enough time with my dad. I said, wow. So that's just like y'all said. Now I talk to him a lot more than I used to. Cause my dad didn't really talk to me when I was growing up. Me and my dad, only time me and my dad spent time was on Saturdays to go do some yards. I used to have him do yards. That's how me and my dad spent time. So I don't know the blueprint of spending time with a child because my dad didn't do that. So I had to reevaluate myself with my son to figure out what's going on with him. But yeah, talking to your children is very important. I had to learn that with my son. He's great child. He's a great child. Fantastic in school. I don't have no problems with him. But yes, I had to really sit down and really look at myself and take that look at myself and be like, what am I doing wrong?
There you go. And for you to realize that and to make those adjustments, that's great because you seeing what your kids need, and that's something that's simple that you can spend time with them, talk to them more and stuff like that. A similar thing happened to me with my son. My son, when he was little, my oldest one, he was like fourth grade. I would take him to school, and he was in love with this one teacher. He used to always hug on her. And I used to be like, dang, you don't be hugging on me like that. You know what I'm saying? And but I wasn't a hugger. I didn't want I just do what you need to do. Because that's my head. If you see something that needs to be done, you do it, you go on. You know what I'm saying? I compartmentalize stuff. And I wasn't affectionate. I wasn't touchy-feely like that. And when I saw that, it made me jealous. And I was like, why do you, and I asked my son, I said, why do you run to your teacher like that, like she your mama? And he was like, she gives me the best hug. Like, he want that hug. And you're like, I need to hug my kid. You know what I'm saying? And so I started doing that. But I'm like, oh, it made me so mad. I was like, she giving him something that he needed. And I wasn't giving it to him. So yeah, and I had to adjust. So that's good. What I'm trying to say is, that's good that you recognize that and you were able to adjust for your kids. And that's what we have to do. We have to do something for these kids and not just because we learning too. You know what I'm saying? That was my first son. We learning. It's a lot of stuff we don't know, and we can't even go around here act like we know everything.
If one of my sons came back telling me how great some dude was, that would probably piss me off. I mean, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. If my son can't come to me telling me how great some dude is, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, you make him mad.
Yeah, Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you
I
see
mean,
this fourth
I'm
grade
just,
teacher. Get out
I'm
my face. Don't
literally
tell me
sitting here
that.
thinking about it. Like, if my son came back telling me how great some other dude was, I'd be mad.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't let him know that,
Oh, I
but
let mine know, and I told
I
him he
feel
don't get
some
no
kind
hugs
of
from
way
her.
about that. I would feel some kind of, and yeah, I don't know how I would deal with it. I really don't know how I would deal with it.
You
That's
would adjust if your child told you that he wanted more hugs or he needed some hugs. You wouldn't adjust and start giving your child hugs or whatever, or
I
time or
better not
spending
see
time.
my son hugging on some dude. Huh? He's like,
Sometimes, hey, wait a minute, Johnny Snow. Now,
hey, yeah.
sometimes men be needing hugs now from their daddies. You act like that man off TikTok. That man on TikTok had
I'm just
checked his
saying.
restaurant for food and started
I
talking
mean, like,
crazy
hey,
to
man,
him.
let go to the range.
Johnny Snow, you not gonna if your son wanted a
No, no,
hug,
no,
you
no,
can't
no, no,
tell me
no,
that you're
no,
not
no,
gonna hug
no.
your son.
It ain't that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I just would have to sit and try to figure out why my son need a hug. From I because I'm not I'll put it this way. When I'm not at home, I'm in the house. I'm not a go to the club type of guy. I'm not a go hang out with my partners type of guy. That's not what I do. I'm here. I'm at home when I'm not working. I'm at home with my family. And I'm trying to go do stuff that they telling me I don't like. This is a good example. Whenever a new Marvel movie comes out, my family gets together. When I say my family, I mean my core unit. We all got Marvel t-shirts, and I got a Black Panther shirt that I wore to the Black Panther movie. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And we go. It's like a family tradition. Whenever anything come out, we all go to the movies. We going.
Uh-huh.
We whenever something about to come out, my daughter go to Fort Valley. She's like, we going to the movie. I'm like, yes, we going to the movie. And that's what we do. And because I believe in spending time, and maybe the time that I try to spend is stuff that I want to do. Maybe I need to start doing stuff that they want to do, but I'm like, hey, let's go do the stuff. I'm steady trying to do stuff with them. But yeah, I don't know how I would feel if my son come and tell me that I don't hug him enough. I don't do this enough. I don't do that enough. I don't know. I don't know how I would react to that. I don't.
Well, would your son or daughter be able to tell you? Be able? Do you think they would be able to come to you and tell you what they need?
Oh, there. My door is open. They know.
So,
They
but if they come to you and tell you
all
what
the
they
crazy
need,
shit they
Johnny,
come talk to me about now.
but if they come and tell you what they need, Johnny, you telling me you don't, you will be too busy worried about why they need it instead of them what they're verbally telling you that they like. You wouldn't try to get that to them. You'll still let them get it from out there.
Oh no, it would be an issue. It would definitely be an issue.
So
All I'm saying
you
is
wouldn't
that
give them
if
no
the
hug.
issue came, I wouldn't be. It would definitely catch me. Bam. I didn't see it coming.
Exactly. So when my son was in fourth grade and that happened, I looked at myself like, why is he getting these hugs from me? Why is he hugging this woman? And when he told me the woman gave the best hugs, and I don't be hugging him like, I don't be I was not. I tell
I
my
mean, you
son,
need to get
I
your
love
hug
you,
game up. Why
huh?
your hug game lacking?
Yeah,
You-
why? Because why you not hugging your kids? Your kids clearly want a hug, right? So in
Right.
my head, when I was growing up, my mama didn't tell me that she loved me
Oh,
until I was going off into the military. Like I was literally getting on the
Wait, wait,
plane,
wait, wait,
and my
wait,
mama
wait, wait,
told me
wait,
that
wait,
she
wait,
loved
wait,
me.
wait.
So in my head, when my kids are growing up, I'm making sure I tell my kids all the time, I love you, I love you, I love you, oh, whatever. But
Mhm.
I didn't hug, right? I didn't hug. I didn't never hug them.
I
Other
think, I
than
think, I
they
think
was
Coop done
little.
figured it out.
What? What? What it say, Johnny? I can't see.
Was he getting that thug hug, grabbing the booty?
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, too. But he sure said that she gave the best hug.
He over there.
Okay. When I start hugging my son, I'd be, hey, come give me the hug before you get on that bus. I love you. And I started making sure I incorporated the hug, okay? But
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he need that. I was, hey, what am I doing? So yeah.
Mhm.
a kid to tell you what he want or what she want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I agree. A kid
I
will
had to
tell
make
you.
some adjustments. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Well, we didn't hit that hour mark, and I think this was a good conversation. This was a good
This
conversation.
was
Yeah.
hey Howard. Hey, yeah, yeah, that was. Hopefully your
Mhm.
friend look at it from both sides, Johnny Snow.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. Hopefully he looked at this broadcast because I think that men out here acting emotionally is a symptom of the actual problem, and the problem is dad need to be there.
Absolutely.
Don't put it all on the woman.
Absolutely.
If you got the woman out there, trying to take care of the kids, she's stressing, and yeah, I mean, and me growing up in a single dad household, I will say this: my dad was stressed. We had a lot of things going on, the during the time that he was single. And there were things that I see now, looking back, now that I'm older, like, yeah, he probably was sick of us. He was probably sick of us,
So
because
Johnny,
we, uh,
so so what you just said about the hugs, right? So moms pretty much be the hugging type, and you just said you'll be trying to figure out why they don't get any hugs. If you don't mind, if it's something that's too personal,
go
what
ahead.
do you feel like you missed out on as far as like a mom is concerned growing up?
Well, I will say this: growing up, my dad did a lot of things with me. We went fishing, we did stuff together. My dad was not absent, of course. And like I said, because I was in a single dad household for a little while. Once he got married, he married one of the greatest women I've ever met in my life. So I love my stepmother like she's my mom. So
Mhm.
he picked a great woman to settle down with. So I will say this: I didn't miss anything. I
Mhm.
I didn't miss anything.
So
So
what? Let me get this in. What is it that your stepmom gives you that your dad doesn't give you, and she gives it to you it's because she's a woman?
all right, what she gives me is the uh I don't want to say validation because my dad gives me validation, but it's the validation that she gives me is different. It's a feminine validation.
So her
Yeah, and
support is
when I say validation, is uh, I'm trying to figure out the best way to put it. She tells me things that a woman would tell a man that a man can't tell a woman.
mhm.
My dad can't say stuff that a woman said. Like my dad was like, "Oh, you look nice today." I mean, what's wrong with you? You what? Don't tell me that. You know what I'm saying? So like C and T said earlier, it is a balance.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there are things that a woman can do that a man just can't do.
Yep.
And if a man did, it'd be like, I don't want you to be telling me that. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And as a woman, I'm sure that there are things that a woman can't tell you that a man can tell you that just sounds right coming from a man,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? So there is that balance,
Yeah.
Mm.
It's different types of support. That's what
CNT
that's what I
Coop
think.
said that your dad lets you get the bumps and bruises and your mom patches you up.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep,
They all
Exactly
yep,
that.
yep.
yep, yep, yep,
Exactly
Hit it
that.
right on the head.
yep. And if a dad is there, like I cut the cord on my kids when they were born.
Me
You
too,
know?
bro. Yes, sir.
So if a dad isn't there to cut the cord in the metaphorical sense, you know, then like Santi said, she is not going to cut the cord herself. She's gonna run out there in the field and be like, "Stop hitting my baby," because you
I
let your
used
baby
to.
box.
Oh, I literally used to do that. I literally used to do that. Okay, but
Mhm.
yeah, I learned my lesson.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was
So
a good
yeah.
conversation,
There
Jonathan.
are certain things that you cannot get because a woman isn't built that way, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that is not a insult because there are certain things that a man can't get from another man, you know, coming up that like I, I'm not finna just dig deep into that, but
That right there, what you just said, people got to understand that it's not an insult when you say a man can't teach a woman can't teach a man how to be a man, and it's
that
not an
is not an
insult
insult.
when you say that to a man. You know, the
You know,
vice versa, and that's what we got to understand. It's not. It's just what it is.
yeah, that's just
Mhm.
nature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So are we in a are we agreeing with uh my homeboy when he said that emotions are the reason and that men are out here acting the way they are?
No.
No. That's
Oh, okay.
that's missing shots, Johnny.
All right.
Everybody has the same emotions.
Yeah,
So if you can't control yourself, it's because you don't want to control yourself. You're not trying to control yourself.
we
Now,
all can agree that it has to be a balance between the woman and the man.
Okay. Okay.
We agree with that. Am I right?
So we're saying that he is completely off in his train
Yeah,
of thought.
yes, he is. He's missed 100 shots.
A whole 100 shots. He done missed a whole 100 shots. Okay,
he
okay,
has some
okay.
he has some truth in it, but not a lot because that's how I feel because everybody has the ability. Some people have the ability to control themselves. Everybody has these emotions that's in them, and you have to make your decision of if you're gonna react inappropriately or if you're not. Plain and simple. And if you choose
I
to act
agree.
any kind of way, that's not because of. I don't think that's because of that. I think it's because that's the way you want to act. That's what's already in you because you have the ability to react in a good way or a bad way, and they're just choosing to react in a bad way. That's what I think.
Okay, okay.
What you
So,
think, Jonathan?
so what I think is that when all you do, I mean, if you from birth to being put out there on your own, all you see is one example of a parent, and you don't see two examples of a parent, that will have an effect on how you deal with life situations. And there are some instances where you have somebody who realizes that, okay, I cannot deal with this man the same way I would deal with a woman. I got to treat a man different because I have aunties that have been like, oh, nah, you can't do that for no, that's a boy. He got to get up and get out there and do this, that, and the other. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
I've seen where women are harder on the boys than they are with the girls because that's a boy. You're supposed to be hard on, because life is going to be harder on them. So you can't just say that all women are like that. You
Mm-hmm.
know? So you can't just put everybody in the same box. But I will say that if you do not have a strong male example, you will not know what being a strong male is. Period, point blank. A woman cannot show a man how to be a strong man. A woman can show a man what a strong woman is all day long, you know, but you can a woman cannot show a man what a strong man is. Yeah, and some people get over the hump from of not having the man around and build off of the strong woman that they see and become a strong man, and they are the exception sometimes. I don't know. I don't want to say they're the exception because I'm putting a whole bunch of people into a box. But that I think that a man needs to be there. If you make a child, help raise that child.
Absolutely.
If even if you can't stand the woman, that's you running around. That's a little you running around.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of the little you. Make
Yep.
sure that when you dead and gone, the little you is good.
Yeah.
And that's the long and short of it as far as I see it. You gotta make sure that you take care of what you made. Period,
Okay.
point blank.
There you go. Take care of yours. That's what it is.
Take care of yours.
Yep.
Well,
Somebody else's too.
well, we have reached our time, family. You know what I mean? And so, we're gonna go ahead and give everybody a few last words. And as tradition goes, we'll let the lady go first.
Make sure y'all hit Johnny Snow's like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. See y'all next week. Johnny's gonna be same time, same place.
For sure.
Yes, and y'all be good, be kind, be careful. We'll see. I will see y'all next week.
Well, no. She want to see y'all Friday.
Oh yeah, Friday. Thank you, Johnny Snow. Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, indeed.
Yes, she want to see y'all Friday. Go check
Yeah,
Santi out.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Skilly. What you got to say to everybody?
Man, y'all, make sure you take care of them babies. They are future.
Absolutely.
Got to make sure we take care of the future.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a neighborhood and you see some kids that don't have that, do your best. I'm not saying you're gonna save every child. We not gonna save every single one of them, but the more we can save, the better our future.
Yes.
Sunday, Bulletproof Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and y'all be safe and take care of them.
Absolutely. Well, what I want to say is that, if you have the ability to take care of yours, take care of yours. And if you see where you can make a difference, make a difference. It's not hard. It's time.
Yeah.
The time that you spend drinking a beer or doing whatever, sitting back doing nothing, could be time that is used to do something. Just go ahead and make a difference. Do it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. And I'm speaking to myself more than I'm speaking to everybody because I know I can do better. I have nieces and nephews that I can do better with, and I really feel as though, this was a good conversation because it got me thinking more where I'm lacking, and if you see yourself lacking, stop lacking. Stop lacking. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody coming out here to sit here and run their mouth with us. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be back here next week. And we'll definitely have some more to chop it up about. Going back to our old show, Santi.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody, we are up out of here.
See y'all later. Y'all be careful.
100 shots, y'all.